to a brand new episode of Audionots, your pop culture palate cleanser. I am Eric Oldboy, online with the infamous REN, Mr. Ren. What is going on?
What is going on, man? We are not dead. We're back, baby.
It's been a hot minute. I feel like
Yeah.
we say this every time. It's like deja vu to the listeners. They're like, you guys say this every episode. So we went from every week
Yeah.
to twice a month to once a month. So 12 episodes a year.
Yeah. Makes it like a hot and heavy episode, so it's worth the wait.
Well, it's just like TV. When I was a Ute, you would get 28 episodes. If there's a new season, some 28 episodes, that was the number. And then as it started getting lower and lower, 24 episodes, 20 episodes. And then once it hit streaming, all of a sudden became like 13 episodes. And now they're like, oh, we'll give you 10, we'll give you 8. Oh, by the way, full season, 6 episodes.
6 episode, man.
Freaking A, man. It's not even fair.
Can you imagine if it's like 6 episodes and each episode is like 30 minutes?
You might as well call it a TV series at that point. It's a YouTube channel.
I saw this meme that gave me a chuckle. It's like Netflix said, would you binge watch a 10-hour movie? And then the person like, hell no, 10 hours is too long. How about if I break it up into 1 hour episodes? Would you watch it? Hell yes, sign me up.
That's right. That's exactly how it is.
Right.
That's how I know the wifey and I, we've been finding some shows. In fact, some of them are on our list here today. And it never fails. If we find one we like, we're so sad when we watch the entire thing in like 2 or 3 days. I'm like, oh no, it's over.
2 and 3 days. That's long, man. Overnight.
Yeah, remember we're old folks, and so we gotta get to bed by 9 p.m. Otherwise, I'm cranky in the morning.
Yeah, when you're old, man. I went out and about on my time off, and we at a wedding, and I got a little tipsy. Man, it took me like a few days to recover, dude. I'm like, never again. Too much drinking.
That's exactly how you know you're old. Like the youngins, when you're youthful, you can get hammered every night. I remember when I was a Ute, we'd get hammered on Friday and Saturday and be just perfectly fine on Sunday. And now if I have like 3 glasses of wine on like a Saturday, I'm done for the week.
Yeah. I need a Monday off just to recover.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have that recovery day. I don't ever take a vacation without a recovery day anymore. That's an old guy trick.
It's true. You need that.
You gotta have your vacation from your vacation. That's the only way.
You have a vacation and you end it with a staycation.
Yeah, it's because it gives you that decompressing because you've been traveling, you've been doing stuff, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired.
We've been off air so long that it gave me time to really think about things, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And I came across this like really, really deep thinking of mine, and I thought of a really good quote. And I never heard anywhere.
This is a Ren original quote.
Ren original quote.
We need like a breaking news sounder. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, let's hear it.
I should have put this down, but this is the idea. Quote, Ren: we spend most of our lives watching glimpses of other people's lives.
Oh, that's true. I love it. That's a great quote. We need to post that on our Twitter and give you full quotations. In fact, we need to make it into a graphic that people can share.
Right.
That's how you get the love that you deserve. Because you're absolutely right.
Freaking deep, right?
It's super deep. And that's what we're all doing. We all sit there all day long reading about other people's stuff on our, Instagrams and Twitters and all this other stuff. But you're absolutely right. That's a great quote.
Yeah, because I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? This is so true. And like, for example, we're watching this movie where the guy tries to get the girl, you see only like that time of their lives where he tries to get the girl. Once he gets the girl, happy ending, nothing happens. So we're only seeing glimpses, man.
I've always wondered, like, you never see people using the restroom in TV shows or movies. Hardly ever. It's like, do these people not use the restroom? Yeah, because you only get the one small compressed chunk.
Yeah. And we spend our whole lives doing it.
Yeah, it's true. I'm guilty of my decompressing is usually staring at some sort of screen, TV screen, iPad screen, cell phone screen, computer screen.
All day, dude.
Yeah, all day. Like,
long.
with our work, we stare at computer screens for 8 hours, and then we come home and we do our side hustle on computer screens for a couple more hours, and then we podcast on a screen, and then we say, you know what, I need to relax. So we sit down and we watch TV on whatever device of our choice. So it's just like, it's wild these days.
It's crazy to think about it, right? Like we're doing that now, and then you notice kids doing it even more because like I have a little nephew.
Yeah.
We started a YouTube channel, by the way. We're just gonna
you gonna plug it.
Yeah, we're gonna mukbang just like food that he likes to eat. He's a little 6-year-old.
And for the audience who doesn't know, mukbanging isn't gross. It's just it's gross,
but
it's not it's not
mukbang with a 6-year-old.
Like somebody called the police. Yeah. No, mukbang is eating a bunch of food. That's all that means.
Yeah, we did one last year where we ate McDonald's. It was
Yeah.
like super cute, you just little kids say like the darnest things, and it's just hilarious.
I love it.
So we're starting that little channel for us. But yeah, it's funny how he can't go anywhere without like his iPad or a phone. We're gonna go to Fred Meyer's, which is like a 2-minute drive. Gets in the car. Can I have your phone? And he needs, that screen time.
Yeah, they need
from
it.
point A to point B. He's like, man, like just look outside, look at the flowers. No, I want to watch YouTube. So
yeah, it's wild, and it's only gonna get worse. I mean, talking about this though, it definitely makes us sound like old fogies when we start complaining about, oh, there's kids on their devices. But it's true. During our month off, I went to a wine festival that was out in the middle of nowhere. So we actually rented a cabin and stayed out in the woods, and there was no service. We couldn't get any cell reception. So it was kind of nice. It was awesome though, because it forced you not to stare at your phone to see what's happening and have to be up to minute with every single thing. And so it was kind of awesome. I recommend everybody. I think honestly, camping should be or some sort of outdoor thing, whether it's hiking or whatever you're into. People need to invest in that into their lives and like really think about it and make sure that they're doing it, fairly often. Otherwise you get kind of like just, I don't know, full of the noise.
Yeah, because every time people visit you or you visit people, the first question they ask, hey, how you doing? It's not that anymore. It's like, what's the Wi-Fi password?
It's true. What is your Wi-Fi password?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to a point where some people like, have it on the wall. So it's like, dude, just read the wall. It's right there.
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of a podcast, though, folks, is you can go out and go for a walk. I'll tell you what, I only listen to our podcast to see if we made any mistakes or where we can improve. So I don't listen to it too much, but I do listen to a lot of podcasts, and I do it all the time when I'm walking the dog. It's great, man. You plug them in your ears and you still see nature and do stuff, and you still can get that kind of like that audio sensory thing that we all seem to need so much of.
Yeah. It's kind of like it's become background noise, but you're still soaking in the information.
Yeah. You're getting it, whether you're getting it or not.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to like listen to this and start repeating your quote and not even realize where it came from.
Quote. And then be all Twitter. I got to make a Twitter official.
Yeah. You got to make it Twitter official. That's the trick. So that's cool. What else have you been up to? I know we've been working for the Vigilante. Anybody wants any Vigilante graphic design work? We've been killing it. We've been doing all sorts of fun works, from catalogs to
posters,
and all sorts of fun stuff. Yeah. So we love doing logos, those kinds of things. And as always, reach out to us on one of our social medias and mention Audionots and get 10% off of your first job.
Didn't you say we got invited to a golf tournament?
Yeah. So one of our Vigilante customers has invited us to play golf, and I'm like so excited. I like to play golf. What's your handicap?
I have no idea what that means. The only time I play golf is either at Top Shot, no, not Top Shot, Top Golf, Top Golf, or Wii Sport.
Oh yeah, the Wii Sports, sure, yeah.
That's
The beautiful thing about golf tournaments, for those of you out there who like golf is lame and you don't play golf, another good way to get outside and get away from devices. However, golf tournaments, they realize that they're inviting people that don't know how to play golf. And they like, well, if we let everybody just play golf on their own, it's going to be horrendous. It's going to take forever. People are going to lose all the balls. And so they do something called best ball. And best ball is you take four guys, you stick them all on a team, and they play the best shot. So all four guys
Yeah.
hit the ball. You go chase down the best one, and you just play like that. And it makes it so you can actually have a good time. You don't feel so bad. You're busy boozing it up, doing the things that matter. And so it's still fun. You don't feel like overly conscious by the fact that you just shanked one out into the woods you'll never find.
Oh, so you're just basically just following the leader,
Yeah,
the best ball
the
as a
best
group.
ball. Sometimes, depending on whose tournament it is, they may say you have to take at least two shots from each player. And so what that does is it forces you to kind of pay attention. So say Rin sucks and he can't do anything.
Oh,
We
it's
can't we
true.
can't never take a shot. We had to hope that maybe he'll make a putt or maybe he'll make one good off the tee. And then we make sure to take those shots. Maybe somebody went further, but he hasn't hit a good one yet. So we take that shot anyways.
Oh yeah, so you get a little strategy, huh?
Yeah, there's some strategy to it.
Yeah.
So it's a good time. It's nothing to get like nervous about. It's always fun, even if you suck.
Oh, I'm glad. Hopefully we get good teammates.
Yeah, well, that's the trick, right? You make sure that they set you up with like a ringer, and then you're good to go. Especially if there's prizes. I've won some pretty amazing prizes at golf tournaments, and I am not a good golfer. I'm a very mediocre golfer, but I won a ring one time. That was pretty cool. You know, that thing you stick on your doorbell and it
Oh
gives you
yeah.
videos. You know, I've won all sorts of fun stuff.
I'm hoping I'll get an iPad.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You never know. You never know. The iPad I'm using right now, I won at an event. It wasn't a golf event, but it was a winning. I won it at a basketball event.
Lucky.
Lucky. All right. With that, let's get into it. Let's start it. Let's talk about all the things we've stared at lately.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start with the healthy stream. So it's been a hot minute before since we've talked about anything. So there's lots of good stuff. The best part about this, though, is Marvel. Marvel has just finished a couple things, so we're able to kind of like digest it, talk about it as in whole. So let's start with Moon Knight. So if you haven't heard or seen Moon Knight yet, get on it. It's awesome. But if you're worried about spoilers, there may be a few. What did you think about the series Moon Knight?
This is the reason why we delayed our podcast to finish Moon Knight.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah.
Moon Knight from overall, I thought it was okay. I didn't like really like end up being like, oh my gosh, I love the show.
Right.
After I watched the finale, I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty good show, and it's just like, it is what it is.
I felt like the finale kind of saved it for me. So I was the same way. And I was really trying to contemplate and think about what it was about the show that felt very mediocre or midnight, as they might say. But I think part of it was I didn't know the character that well. Like I've known about Moon Knight because I'm an avid comic reader, or at least I used to be an avid comic reader. But I was never I think I maybe had an issue or two, but I never really read Moon Knight. And so this is, if you think about it, this is the first Disney Plus show that we got that was introducing us to a character. I mean, all the other ones would say, here's a main character, and we're going to introduce you to this new character. And so every one of the shows, WandaVision had Agatha, Winter Soldier had, what was that guy, the American Patriot, or where the hell he was called, that main cranky guy. Loki had people. They all had like other characters that they kind of introduced us to. Hawkeye had Echo and all sorts of things. But with Moon Knight, they were all new characters. We hadn't seen any of these in the MCU yet, so I wasn't sure if that was part of it that was kind of bothering me. But I think the two things that I didn't like about Moon Knight was the special effects were pretty bad, and we were talking about this offline a little bit. I feel like Disney has invested in this new green screen technology. And I saw a little bit of it in one of their making of shows. And what they're doing is, instead of your old fashioned, just a green screen behind you, it's like a bunch of TVs in this giant bean shaped thing that the actors act inside of. And I think that the technology is going to be the way to go in the future. But right now you can still kind of see it, and it makes it feel less authentic. And it kind of takes me out of things.
You think they're kind of forced to use it because of the pandemic?
Yeah, I think a lot of it's probably pandemic related. I think part of it is they probably say, well, if we're going to be forced to do these kind of things, I think they've been forced to use a lot more green screen than they normally would. But I think they've decided to kind of let's go with this new technology and use it. And so like I've seen it in all the stuff that they put out recently, from Shang-Chi to Moon Knight to, Multiverse of Madness. There's just moments in it where I get completely pulled out of it because I'm like, oh, they're in front of a big green screen.
Well, that's like you being a designer, so you're like kind of like critical on that. Like, but the average Joe is just kind of like, that's dope.
Yeah, and that's absolutely possible. I was talking to somebody at work today, an engineer, and he went and saw it, and he said he didn't realize that there was bad green screen and Multiverse of Madness. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you're right. I think it's maybe we have a little bit more discerning eyes, and that bothers us.
Yeah, like overall, I did enjoy the show. Like, the Egyptian god aspects,
Yeah.
the Egyptian culture itself. That was
Yes.
cool to bring it into like the big screen, not big screen. What do you call them?
Streaming.
Stream. Yeah, and the acting was really good. I just needed like probably two more episodes to kind of build his character. I felt like it was really rushed.
Yeah, that was part of it. I think if they would have had actually more episodes, just like you're saying, it would have made it a lot better. But I did enjoy it. Like, I'm not trying to say that I didn't like this show. I really liked the moments where we got to go inside of his brain and see the two characters like interacting. I thought that was super cool and fun. And I really enjoyed when the lady at the end became her own superhero. That was super cool and unexpected. I really enjoyed that.
I think for me that was probably the best moment when she like spread her wing. That was pretty cool, man.
It may have been the best special effects of the whole show too.
Yeah.
Like that last episode, I felt like they saved all their money for the last episode because the last episode's effects were substantially better than all the previous episodes.
Well, I think the issue is like, it's called Moon Knight, but then we don't get Moon Knight. We get like a scene of Moon Knight in each episode. And then the last one's kind of like, all right, you guys want a Moon Knight? Here he is. Bam.
Here he is. It was cool though. So I liked it. I liked Mr. Knight. I liked Moon Knight. I liked Mark Spector. I liked, what was the other guy's name? The goofy British one.
Oh my god.
Steven something. I liked all of them. I even liked at the very end, if you stick to it, you get the third personality in the end credits. So it's definitely worth kind of watching and seeing that. So it definitely seems like we'll get either a sequel to the show or we'll start to see maybe a movie.
I just wish it was rated R.
Yeah, they teased us trying to say that it would be as violent as some of the Netflix stuff, and it wasn't, not at all.
Yeah.
It was violent for Disney, but it wasn't violent for Netflix.
Release the cut.
Should we start a thing? Release the violent cut.
Yeah.
But yeah, Moon Knight, where does it fall for you compared to like the other Disney Plus shows?
I think Moon Knight for me is number 4.
4. So is that second to last? Is there only 5?
So here's my list.
Let's hear it.
Number 1, WandaVision.
Okay.
Because I have the hots for Elizabeth Olsen, so I'm very biased.
That's a good call.
It's a good show though.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Loki.
Yes, excellent show.
And then number 3, I did enjoy Hawkeye.
I did too.
Yeah. And number 4 is Moon Knight, and then Winter Soldier.
I think that our lists are very similar, other than I would flip-flop Loki and Wanda. Yeah. If I was going to rank up, I like to think of things in tiers. I feel like Loki and Wanda are like God tier, right? They're like must watch, really well done, unique, especially Wanda. You had to admit it was an amazing idea.
That's why I loved it, man. It's just, man.
And then you got kind of like that mid tier, which is going to be Hawkeye, Moon Knight, and Winter Soldier, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But I don't think there has been any like low tier. I'm a little concerned that Ms. Marvel is going to be that bottom tier that we haven't got yet. So I'm worried.
Well, it's because, like I said, like we said before, it's not really made for us adults. I feel like it's gonna be targeted for the younger kids.
I agree that it's going to be targeted for the younger kids, but I feel like the one thing that Marvel has done pretty well is everything ties together. And if you're a real Marvel fan, you kind of have to see it all, right? So I can't go to the Marvels, in a year and a half or 2 years or whenever it comes out and just be like, who the hell is this chick, because I don't know who Kamala Khan is yet. So now I got to watch, even if Ms. Marvel's meant for 12-year-old girls and it's like a Nickelodeon show, I feel like I have to watch it so that I can
Yeah.
keep up with the story.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. I'm still gonna watch it because it's Marvel.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I think it's good to watch it too, because my wife told me after we were watching Mom,
Yeah.
um Multiverse of Madness,
Yes.
uh she like, I'm so glad I watched Wanda with you. I'm like, that's right.
Well, let's move on to that then. So, Multiverse of Madness came out, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and you're absolutely right because it was just as much a continuation from Doctor Strange as it was from WandaVision. In fact, I'd go as far to say it was more of a continuation of WandaVision than the Doctor Strange.
I would agree. Like, I feel like Wanda was the main character of that show.
Yeah, it could have been called Wanda in the Multiverse of Madness, and it would have worked just the same.
Yeah, because like, are we spoiling this?
Yeah, so this movie is gonna. There's no way to talk about it without amazing spoilers because this movie is spoilerific. So I highly encourage you if you're into and wanting to see this film, if you haven't seen it already, skip ahead, keep going ahead until you get past us talking about it because you'll
Yeah,
you'll be upset.
yeah. Because like, the multiverse didn't really start with Strange. He kind of like did a little bit in Spider-Man, but
Right?
then the
Yes.
main multiverse was from Wanda.
Or you could even say Loki started to talk about how that was going to happen with Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah. But I mean, in the movie, Wanda was the one that was hunting
That's right. That's right.
America Chavez. So she started the multiverse like already before Strange even realized what, you know.
So I thought that was, and I didn't know this going in. I really tried my hardest not to read up too much on this movie. I wanted to have surprises and be excited about it. And I didn't know going in that Wanda was going to be the main villain, and that
Yeah.
was cool.
Yeah. Me too. Like I thought that at the end of Wanda, she's found her peace,
Yeah.
and then I thought that they're going to team up to go find her kids or something, Nope.
And they did a good job with the trailer because everybody who's seen the trailer, there's that scene where he's asking her for help in that apple orchard, and that's all they showed us. But in the
Yeah.
film, immediately we realized Wanda's just tricking him,
Yeah.
and she's trying to like get him to tell her where American Chavez is because she wants to get America so that she can use her powers to jump through the multiverse because she's decided she wants to steal another version of herself's kids.
It's kind of funny how like when we were watching Wanda, we're like, she's the Nexus being, so she's Wanda is the same in every universe. So did this movie like disprove that theory?
I don't know. I mean, I was so confused at first when we saw her kind of dream walk into the other Wanda.
Yeah.
But then later on, we did see that Wanda use powers to fly. So she clearly still had powers. She just wasn't using them for full evil. I feel like the reason she's not feeling like a Nexus in this one is because she's gone to the evil side with this dark book or whatever it was called.
Well, I feel like the Nexus being she should be herself every universe, right? For like
Like
America
American
Chavez,
Chavez.
yeah,
Yeah.
America Chavez, she's a Nexus being because she doesn't dream
There's
like she
only the
said.
one.
There's only
Yeah.
the one. But then this one, there's clearly more than one Wanda. So
Yeah, so I guess she's not a Nexus being then.
yeah,
Maybe that's just an adjustment that they've made along the way. We also haven't had them say things like the fact that she's Magneto's daughter yet, which I was
yeah,
I was almost hoping that might happen in this because the trailer did let us know that we were gonna see Professor X, and we're like, all right,
man,
cool, Professor
dude, that
X.
that scene got me so giddy because I am a '90s kid watching the X-Men animated series. God
Yeah,
damn,
and he rolls out in that yellow like hoverboard
yeah,
wheelchair.
and then even played the freaking theme song, dude. I'm like, "Da-da-da-da-da." Oh shit, yeah, freaking awesome, man.
I thought Sam Raimi did a really good job uh, of making this movie have kind of those horror elements. I went
Yeah,
and saw it with my 16-year-old son, and when we were done, I said that was more like Evil Dead than it was Spider-Man because you didn't know. You hear Sam Raimi, and you're thinking, okay, it's gonna be a Spider-Man type thing. In fact, I
yeah.
I highly expected a Spider-Man cameo, so I was almost excited that we didn't get that. And we went in and I'm like, okay, that was anybody who's ever watched any of the Evil Dead movies, that was very Evil Deadish. It was like Evil Dead light for the Disney audience.
I mean, first of all, you got freaking Bruce Campbell. in there with this stupid hand kicking his ass. Like it totally,
Punch in his face.
yeah, total nod to like Evil Dead 2, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and then you have like the evil book, just like the evil book in the Evil Dead.
Yep.
I'm like, man, it's so good.
So I really enjoyed uh, I enjoyed the majority of the movie. And I was telling Ren off air that when I first walked out of Multiverse of Madness, I was so hyped. I was like, that movie was so good. But as I've thought about it more, I've actually it's kind of lowered its I don't know excitement level for me. I'm less excited about it today than I was a few days ago, and I think it's because I start to think about how there could have been so much more. I mean, I felt like they really didn't give us a strong plot. I mean, it like the Wanda part was cool, and we get this kind of upset mom. Marvel always does a good job with giving a real villain that has a legitimate reason for what they're doing. Like she's
Right.
upset, she's been traumatized by the loss of these kids, and I about fell over when they're like, "Your children aren't real; they're created with magic," and she's like, "Aren't all children?" And that was just like, oh, there was just like these moments where you get why she's being like she is because moms are protective,
Yeah, like
and
I
it
said,
almost gives you another reason for the acronym of this movie called mom.
yeah. Yeah, like I said, man, a show or movie, it's only as good as its villain.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
house.
but the only thing for me, it was such a breakneck pace. So right when the movie started, they're like running through space, trying to avoid one of these other Doctor Stranges and this monster things going on, and all this crap's happening. And it never stops. The movie never stops and lets you breathe. And it would have been nice to have some quiet moments where they did a little bit of more plot development. What they did do is they gave us a whole bunch of cool cameos in the middle. And so let me ask you, we got Black Bolt from the same actor from the Inhumans. We got the fan service, Mr. Fantastic, Reed himself, John Krasinski. I mean, that was literally created by the internet. We got Professor X coming back straight from the X-Men movies. We got a variant of Captain Marvel, and we finally got uh, Captain Carter. And so we got all these characters, and we got the other dude. I can't remember his name, the original Doctor Strange, bro. But I don't know. What did you think? Do you think that we'll see these characters again by the same actors, or do you think this was just a one-time? Let's get this all out of the way and cast new people later on.
I feel like that's what they want to do, just to kind of like, are you what you guys want us to fan service? Here it is. But then again, they're like digging their own grave, right? Because like they're proving the point that if Jim is Mr. Fantastic
Yeah.
in this universe, and then he should be Mr. Fantastic in our universe.
It's
Yeah.
hard though because they've shown us how, like, look at Loki. Like from the Loki show, we learned that not all the Lokis looked like a Loki. There was a lot of different
Yeah.
people playing Loki, but then Wanda was the same person from one universe to the other. Doctor Strange was the same guy but with different
Yeah.
haircuts.
So I don't know. It's like they're them doing themselves, doing us a favor, but at the same time, giving them a little like little cushion to be able to do something else if they choose.
Yeah, if those actors don't work out, they gave the fans what they wanted at least for a few minutes. And boy, ever was that scene where she just walloped her way through them was amazing.
Yeah, that was my favorite scene in the movie. Just like her being BA. Oh my gosh. Like freaking Black Bolt, dude. So I started laughing, man. I was like, God damn.
We saw that in our little local yokel theater, and so there was only, I think, maybe 25 people in the theater with us, and I was the only one that went ah! When his
Yeah,
head exploded. I laughed so hard, nobody else seemed to care.
yeah, dude. It's kind of like it's almost like a nod to like your Inhuman TV show was so bad, we're gonna kill you off.
We're just gonna blow your brains clean out of your head. And then she like straight up shredded Mr. Fantastic. I mean, she just OP. She was so OP. She just like went through these people. Because I mean, in my mind, I was thinking, well, Captain Marvel could basically kick Thanos' ass when he had the Infinity Stones, and this Captain Marvel got killed by like a statue falling on her.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, because that's how it works sometimes.
Yeah, it's funny how they gave Captain Carter like some airtime to actually fight
Well,
Wanda. I'm like, come
she
on,
goes
man.
she pulled out the Captain America line. I can do this all day, and then instantly got chopped in half with her own shield.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I like that. That part was good. Where would you rank? Well, what score would you give Multiverse?
8 out of 10. I enjoyed it a lot.
8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'd go one lower than that. I'll go 7 out of 10. It's not a low tier Marvel movie. It's kind of a mid tier Marvel movie for me.
Besides the Wanda, killing everybody scene, my other favorite part of the movie was when freaking Strange was giving America this heartfelt speech as a fucking zombie. I'm like, dude, that was so funny.
I did like Zombie Strange because we knew that we were gonna get Marvel zombies, and I had no idea that the zombie would end up being a good guy.
Yeah, dude, it was so funny. He was giving this like super like nice speech to her about everything, but then it's freaking Zombie Strange, man. It was so good.
That's pretty fun. What did you think about the end credit scenes?
On the end credit scene, I didn't understand any of it. So I'm just
Charlize Theron showed up, so I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I looked it up and I can't even remember already what her name was, but apparently they're gonna introduce her.
She plays as Clea.
Clea.
Yeah.
And what's Clea's powers?
She's basically Sorcerer Supreme at one time or something like that. So magic stuff. And they said that her and Strange gonna go from multiverse to multiverse, fixing everything.
Oh, maybe after Kang wrecks it all.
Yeah, and then they in the comics they said that they're even like they're a couple.
Oh, nice.
So he gets over Christine and gets with
finally gets over. Well, I mean, if Charlize Theron's the other choice, it's doable.
Yeah. Sorry, Rachel.
Yeah, sorry. The last end credit scene was just Bruce Campbell punching himself some more.
It's over.
It's finally over. So that was good. I liked it.
Yeah, because I love me some Evil Dead movies, man.
Especially number 2. Number 2 is my favorite. It's so hokey and hilarious.
Yeah, that's the one where you get his hand possessed.
That's right. That's a great. Do you have any final thoughts on Disney Plus before we jump to Netflix?
Oh, one last thing about Strange.
Yeah.
The only reason why I didn't like it as much as I would is I feel like they kind of like miss an opportunity to make it even more wacky, like the multiverse of madness, right? Like if they like, the scene where they're jumping through all the multiverse you scenes, they should have done that more and then had them jump through like more universes and just be more wacky. It's like, oh shit, it's crazy.
I feel like we were all imagining them going through different versions of Marvel stuff that we would never see again. Like we all thought Deadpool might be there. I thought they might run through a few X-Men scenes, even if they superimpose them like over like an old Wolverine scene or something. That's kind of what I was thinking was going to happen.
Yeah. Making madness, man. It's madness. It's crazy.
But so they kind of missed the mark there.
Maybe they're like, we already gave you fan service. We won't give you any more fan service.
It's like they said, you know what? We got to keep this a tight 2 hours, guys. We're not going a second over that.
Released the Ramy cut.
No, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Over on Netflix, there was a lot of stuff happening. I was watching, and I think we might have talked about it. It just come out, a month ago on our last episode, but I finished it. The Human Resources show, which was the spinoff of what was that cartoon called?
Big Mouth.
Big Mouth, yeah. Have you seen it? Did you like it?
I totally forgot about it and did not watch it, so it's all you.
Okay, so I saw it and I like it. So if you like Big Mouth, it's essentially the same thing, but 100% focused on the monsters and all those types of things that give them all their love, stuff, hormones. And hormones and hate and all this other stuff. Make a lot of other things, but I dug it. So I would give the Human Resources, now that I've seen the whole thing, 7 out of 10. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. I also started watching another cartoon. I don't know if you saw this one, or excuse me, anime. Look at this guy.
Whoa. Look
watching some anime. Like I got anime. Like I like to show off our toys every once in a while for the people who are watching on YouTube. You know who this is?
Oh, dude, that's Uchiha Sasuke.
There you go. Yeah, my son got this other day. He was so excited. I go, "Who is she?" He got so pissed.
He's
Apparently,
from
this is a dude.
he's from Naruto.
Yeah, that's right. Naruto.
So basically, anime has a formula, right? You have the main guy that's kind of like lame but has potential, the
Yep.
underdog,
Yep.
and then you get the good looking guy that's super cool, like that guy
Okay.
that everybody wants to be,
Okay.
and then you have like a girl in there, and
So
yeah,
that's
those
the
three,
formula.
you're golden.
Nice. Yeah, that show's been on for a long time too, right? I mean, it's got like lots and lots of seasons.
It's over, but they're doing like their kids right now.
Oh, okay. So they started making like sequels and spin-offs.
Yeah, so it's his kid. I mean, Naruto's kid.
Nice. So I've never seen Naruto. In fact, I mispronounce it in front of every time I can in front of my son to make him mad. But
Oh
I
yeah.
I did I think we may have even talked about this a month ago as well. They just came out with a new one on Netflix called Super Crooks. And Super Crooks is from the same universe as that really bad show. What was that bad show? I
Jupiter's
need,
Legacy.
yeah, I need notes for all this stuff. It's been so long. Yeah, Jupiter's Legacy was the live action one that kind of came and went and got canceled. Well, Super Crooks is in the same universe, the Malar world, I think is what they call it. And it's actually pretty good. If you need to find someone like me who's not an anime guy and you need like kind of a starter anime, I think this might be a good one because I'm totally into it. I like it.
Nice. It's funny how like when we first started this podcast, you were like no anime guy, and now look at you
Yeah, I'm coming
growing.
around.
Yeah.
I'm coming around. It's kind of like we were talking about earlier with Korean barbecue offline. We were making fun of the fact that it took Ren pulling me like, tooth and nail to get me to try Korean barbecue. And it turns out it's awesome. And now I have it all the time. I also watched a movie on Netflix called The Bubble. Did you watch The Bubble?
I got halfway and I forgot about it too.
So The Bubble is it's a very mediocre movie. I'd give it I'm gonna get to the score right away. I'd give it a four out of 10. The whole concept is it's mid-COVID. They're not allowed to make movies. So all these actors go to what they're calling the bubble, which is this like mansion in England or something, where they're gonna film this movie with dinosaurs. It's kind of like a Jurassic Park type movie.
Yeah, it's kind of
Eh,
like a Sharknado sort of thing.
Yes, and it's awful. And they
Yeah.
play to the fact that the movie that they're all making is so awful. And the show itself is just absolutely loaded with famous actors. It's made, I think, written and directed by Judd Apatow. So it's like got like good names behind it. It's got the lady from Jumanji. It's got
Pedro Pascal,
Pedro Pascal. It's got Key, right? From
King and Peele.
Key and Peele. It's not Peele though. It's Key. Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
Michael Keegan.
Yeah.
And who else did it have? It has so many actors in it.
Oh,
Uh,
X-File guy.
Oh, that's right, David Duchovny. Yeah, so the show is, I mean,
And
it's absolutely loaded. And the girl that plays David Duchovny's wife is Judd Apatow's real life wife. And the young teenage girl that plays the TikTok star is
yeah.
his real life daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
I
and there
think the
was one,
best
go
I
ahead.
think the best part for me, I only seen it halfway, was that stupid TikTok dance that everybody did.
So it gets, so at the very end, it gets even better. They decide the only reason they have the TikTok girl there is to give some cred to the movie to get a younger audience to watch it. And so at the very end, they decide to build that same TikTok dance into the movie, and she starts teaching the dinosaur how to do it, and they're all dancing with the dinosaur, and the dinosaur is dancing. It's so
Wow.
ridiculous that it actually made me laugh.
Wow. I didn't reach that far.
It's the only funny moment in the entire movie, but that got me.
Daisy Ridley.
That's right. There was a Daisy Ridley cameo. I forgot about that. There was another cameo too. Someone good, but I already forgotten who it was. But yeah, I mean, if you're like super bored on a weekend, it's worth a watch. Otherwise, you could probably skip it, even though it's loaded with stars.
Yeah. I might go back and finish it.
Yeah, you'll forget about it. Some other Netflix news. They canceled Space Force. Oh, so sad. I kind of like that show.
It
It
was
just could
just
never.
it was getting better.
Yeah, it was finally getting its legs. It just, I guess they didn't get there soon enough. And then another piece of news I found totally interesting because I was wondering, some of you may know that Ellen Page is now Elliot Page, which,
Yeah.
whatever, good for her. I don't care. Or good for him. I was wondering if he was still going to play his character the same on Umbrella Academy, because that's a show that's still on, still going well. And instead, they've changed the character for the show. So Elliot Page will now come out as transgender in season 3 and become Victor Hardgreaves.
Vanya to Victor.
Vanya to Victor. So I'm not sure if that's good, bad, or otherwise, but that is the news.
I'm already I already made a shirt for it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What's it look like? What's it say? Is it funny?
Well, basically, I made like a whole series of just like jersey shirts. So they have
Okay.
an umbrella in the front, and on the back has their number and their name.
Yeah.
And so I have one that says Victor on the back now.
There you go. You're on top of it. Go to his
man.
T Public. Make sure to get your Victor shirt. You could be victorious. Over on Hulu, were you watching anything else on Netflix?
Right now I've been just trying to finish up The Last Kingdom.
Oh yeah, is that the zombie one?
No, Kingdom is the Korean zombie one.
Yeah.
The Last Kingdom is about like
Knights of the Round Table.
It's more like no.
I keep guessing.
It's about like
Aquaman,
Vikings, and like all those people around that time.
Oh, okay. Is it part of Vikings, like Vikings Valhalla and all that stuff?
No. It's like the same time period, but like another version of it.
Is it good? Do you like it?
It's based on Uhtred, son of Uhtred from Babenberg. Yeah. It's I like those shows for some reason, like Vikings and stuff. I enjoy the shows, so I like it.
Okay, that's funny. All right, so The Last Kingdom is not zombies. It's not Knights of the Round Table. It is Vikings with Udra Hublahu.
What do you? I don't know what they call it, because they're not Vikings, but they're fighting Vikings, but they're like from like England and whatever they are.
The Viking era, huh? I don't know, man. I'm not a historian. I talk on a podcast.
Yeah.
Over on Hulu, I've been watching some shows you could probably grab. Hulu plays a lot of stuff off of FX and Fox, so you could probably get these if you had like YouTube TV or just regular TV. But I've been watching this new sitcom called Welcome to Flatch. Have you heard or seen this at all?
No, Bob.
Okay, so Welcome to Flatch is made by the same people that made Parks and Rec. And it is very much like Parks and Rec, and that's why I like it. Anybody who watched Parks and Rec knows it was hilarious. Right. So Welcome to Flatch. It cold opens with the thing that says, Americans are now realizing they want to live in smaller towns away from all the hubbub of big cities. And here's the story of this small town, Flatch. It's like Flatch, Indiana or something. And it focuses on these people that live there. And it's really funny. It is exactly like Parks and Rec, where it's the documentary style.
Right.
It follows the preacher, who is the dude from American Pie, the gross dude. What was his name on American Pie?
Jason Biggs?
No, not Jason Biggs. He's the main. He's the pie fucker. The
Stiffmeister?
Stifler. Yeah, Stifler. What is that actor's name? I can't remember his name.
Something Scott.
Oh yeah, you're right there. It does have the word Scott in it. So, anyways, Stifler is the local priest or preacher.
Well, hold on, Stifler is a preacher.
Yeah, so he's the good guy who's really nice.
Yeah. How does he play this role?
He plays it pretty straight. His ex-girlfriend, who moved with him to live in Flatch, they broke up once they got there because he decided to focus on church. So she's the local reporter, and she hates it because she's from a bigger area, but she's like, she's got like one of these heavy North Dakotan accents, so she talks like this. And then there's two teens who are new actors I've never seen before, and they just get into all sorts of trouble. And then there's a cast of characters that kind of like go around these people, and it's actually very funny. So if you just want like a funny half-hour sitcom that has those kind of Parks and Recs vibes, this is it. I've also been watching Atlanta, season 3. And it's really good. It's finally back on track. They do some interesting things with season 3, where they'll have entire episodes that have nothing to do with any of the main characters, and it almost feels like Jordan Peele-esque type episodes, where they really kind of take deep looks at racial instability in our country. And I've
Nice.
enjoyed Atlanta. It's been super good. So if you've been keeping up with it, you definitely want to make sure to watch this season. If you haven't, you probably want to jump on this.
Nice. So it is informative too.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's super informative. Have you been watching anything on Hulu?
No, Hulu's been a skip for me so far recently.
That's fair. Over on Amazon Prime, I watched Upload season 2. Do you remember that show? That was the one where the guy you die and then they upload your conscious
Oh
online.
yeah. I was telling my wife that we need to get back into the show, but we haven't got the chance.
Yeah, you should. It was pretty good. It's a solid second season. I didn't think it was quite as good as season 1, but it's still a nice continuation. I would recommend
Nice.
watching the last handful of episodes of the first season 1 before you watch season 2,
Or maybe a recap.
or like a good recap. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So, what's that noise? Do you hear that?
No.
It was like a technical beeping. It was weird. It was like it was counting down. Oh, never mind.
Scaring me, man.
Yeah, I
Scaring
was
me.
just like, what the hell is that? It's like boop. Also on Amazon Prime, I watched a movie that we talked about like in the very early days of our podcast that we joked about it and I didn't know it existed anywhere. But I watched Velocipaster.
Oh,
It is awful, but it's so awful it's almost good. It is maybe one of the worst, best movies I've ever seen.
wow. I actually started that like the first 15 minutes of it, and I got to where like he kills the pimp.
There's some really funny bits.
The dinosaur is so bad. It's so bad.
It's literally a Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful. So it looks like they made the entire film for $30, but they kind of own it. They kind of own that it's bad. And so I watched the entirety of the movie, and it's not a good movie at all, but it's kind of fun to watch.
I like how this ever travels to China. God damn, that's funny. Never mind. Keep going.
So what we're saying is you should watch Velocipaster. It's really stupid. One show that I have actually enjoyed a lot on Amazon Prime is Outer Range. Outer Range is super good. So Outer Range is about a cattle rancher who discovers a giant black hole on his ranch. And the mystery behind it kind of unfolds throughout the season, but without giving too much away, because I'm certain there's tons of people who've never seen this show. Essentially, it has to do with time. So if you stick your hand in there, you can see into the future. And so as the show kind of unfolds, it's very Twin Peaksy. So anybody who's ever watched Twin Peaks, you're gonna like this. If you like Twin Peaks, you'll like this show because it's got like a weird, dark humor. I thought it had kind of a vibe because it's got a creepy vibe, kind of like The Servant, the one we watched on Apple.
Yeah.
A lot of people were comparing it to Stranger Things. I don't think it's anything at all like Stranger Things, so that's an awful comparison. But yeah, the Servant, Outer Range is a super good show, and I hope they get renewed because it ends on a cliffhanger, and it's
Ooh.
only 8 episodes, but I totally dug all of it.
I haven't watched it, so I have no opinion.
I give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10?
Yeah,
That's
I liked it.
it's pretty nutty, man.
Yeah, super nutty. Highly recommend it if you're looking for something to watch. Outer Range on Amazon Prime. And
Was that like a you and the wife you watch, or just a you watch?
no, my wife liked it even more than I did. This is one of the
What?
shows I was talking about that we ended up binging in a couple of days. Each episode is a full hour, and then there's no commercials, so it's a full hour. So you get 8 hours of show. So we watched it, I think, in 3 days. We watched 2 episodes a day for over 3 days. And yeah, it was. Or I guess we watched more than that because there was 8 episodes, maybe 4 days. But it was a good show. I really liked it. It's got Josh Brolin as the main character. You can't go wrong. He's such a good actor.
4 times 2 equals 8.
Yes. So I did the math.
Yeah,
But yeah, watch it. It's good. It's a good one. I highly recommend it. Over on HBO Max, I've only been watching one show. Well, I finished a bunch of shows, but the show that we've been watching recently in between podcasts was a television show called Minx. Minx stars Jake Johnson from New Girl. Remember him? Jake Johnson?
yeah, Spider-Man himself.
Yeah, Spider-Man voice. he plays a pornographer, and he's gotten rich off of making your typical porn magazines. I think that it takes place in maybe like the late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, he looks the
And
part.
yeah, he's gotten all greasy and long hair at this point.
Yeah, yeah,
And this woman comes around. She wants to start a magazine, but everybody tells her no. She wants to create this super like empowered, woman empowered, like feminist magazine. But back then, nobody was having it. They
yeah.
weren't going to hear it. And he got a hold of it. And he says, I like this. He goes, let's do this, but let's add a bunch of dicks to it. And so they create Minx, which is the first ever male pornography magazine. And they start publishing it, and it's really funny. It's like a dramedy, but it's got lots of good humor, a ton of male nudity. So if you're offended by male nudity, maybe stay away. But if you don't care, like I don't care, it is super funny. I mean, they have like a dick ratio of like 3 dicks a show. So just be ready for that.
Wow.
Just gotta be prepared, you know. HBO is making sure to keep everything equal.
Man, I feel like I haven't watched anything lately. The heck?
I'm killing you. I know. Have you been watching it down HBO?
I don't think so. I think for the most part, I've been just catching up on my anime.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, and
Yeah.
if I've learned anything from Boy Danger, is anime can take a lot of time. He's been watching this One Piece show for what seems like a year and a half.
It's gonna be even longer. It's still going, dude. It's gonna
I'm
take
like,
his whole like teenage years.
he likes it. He's been watching that damn show forever. So a few other TV tidbits I have. I mean, it's been so long that some of these I can just cross off. I had written on here, Chris Rock slapped Will Smith. And I don't think we need to talk about that. That's
Oh,
been talked
yeah.
ad nauseum everywhere else. Did you see though that Bruce Willis was diagnosed with some like weird memory thing?
And then that's why
So
he
he's not
quit
going to act
acting.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild.
But then, you gotta ask the question, what movie was like his last good one that he did?
But I almost wonder if that's why he was taking the bad movies so he could build up a little cash in the coffers before he decided to retire because he knew he had
Yeah.
to.
His like recent ones are just like B-rated movies, right?
Oh yeah, B-rated garbage.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure because we talked about a few of them on the podcast, and it almost seemed like he was just recording one right after another, or maybe simultaneously at the same time. I've also been watching Halo. If anybody's has Paramount Plus, I'm here to tell you. I mentioned last episode that I think seen one episode. Halo is good. It's way better than it deserves to be for a show based off of a video game. I enjoy it. I enjoy it more than Boba Fett, and I'm gonna stick on that train. I have yet to change from that. It's still going on. I think there's a couple episodes left, but I've really liked it.
You know the Halo Master Chief? He's a
Yeah.
dude from Orange New Black. He was the police officer guy.
So I never watched enough Orange is the New Black to remember that because I got halfway through season one and then gave up on it once I realized there wasn't enough naked ladies. I'm like, this is boring. But I've read that, and hot fact, he's Liv Schreiber's brother. So Liv Schreiber was the bad guy Wolverine character. What is that monster called?
Sabretooth.
Sabretooth? Yeah, he's Sabretooth's brother.
Yeah, for some reason, like after they see how ripped he was, he's like, he should play Wolverine. Can you
really?
imagine that?
He's too big.
Yeah. Him as Wolverine, his brother is Sabretooth.
Sabretooth. The problem with him is he's a big effing guy. He looks like
Yeah.
a wrestler. Like he's huge compared to everybody else on the show. Like I don't know if they're going out of their way to make him look extra big, but he's freaking enormous compared to everybody else.
How come he takes off his mask?
So they decided, and I read a little behind the scenes that they wanted to humanize Master Chief. And so they were saying just because the video game you're playing Master Chief, and that's why the mask doesn't come off because you're supposed to envision yourself as the character. He has no rules. There's no rules in the story that says Master Chief can't take off his helmet. And so he does. And one of the things that we learn early on is they have like a some sort of like chip or something implanted in them that suppresses their like thoughts and feelings. And so that's part of the reason they leave the masks on and they almost operate like robots. But he removes his early on in the series and becomes like more like a normal person.
But he's superhuman.
Yeah, but he's just a badass, they've been trained from kids to be these badasses, and there's a bunch of them. They have all these different ones in there. I like it. I highly recommend it. Also, Jason Momoa. Did you see in the news that Jason Momoa is going to star in a brand new Minecraft movie?
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? What's
So that just
how
means a brick looking head, or what's happening?
how is it gonna be live action? Like
Dude, I have no idea. How do you have a live act? What would it even be about? Do you just walk around and dig for crap?
you dig, you loot, and you build.
Yeah,
But
my kid plays Minecraft, and once in a while he'll fight a dragon. Maybe it'll be about that.
yeah, and there's like zombies and spiders and
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
Yeah, man.
Minecraft doesn't seem like something you should make a movie out of.
Yeah, it's gonna be. And Jason Momoa. Yeah, man.
It's gonna be awful for sure. However, some exciting news I think your wife will like. So you probably already know this because I know she is a big Doctor Who fan.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
Yeah, Eric from Sex Education. I'm not sure how to pronounce his first name. I think it's Chuti Gatwa. Has been named as the next Doctor Who, and boy, I like him.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Doctor Who since like the early '80s when I was a kid, but I might be willing to watch it with him because I like him so much. He's such a likable guy.
Yeah, from watching Sex Ed. He's like one of my favorite characters in there.
Yeah, he's so likable. So I don't know if you guys were excited about that. If someone who's a real Doctor Who fan, if that's exciting, or if it's like, oh no.
I think she was excited when I broke the news because she did like him in Sex Ed too.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'll have to figure out I don't even know where you watched Doctor Who at. BBC, I guess.
I wonder, you know how like Doctor Who's been a man the whole time and then they changed it to a lady?
Yeah.
Are they gonna change it to he him being, you know, is he gonna play straight? Is he gonna play gay? What is he gonna play? You know?
Well, I read a thing about it because I was wondering too. He plays Eric so well on
Yeah.
Sex Education. I'm like, is he really gay or is he just a good actor? And he's never once confirmed anywhere in public that he's actually gay. So he may be, he may not be. I don't know. But yeah, it would be curious to see if they if he wants to, if they build that into the Doctor Who character.
Yeah, because they're going away from the man one, you know. So
Yeah.
I would
I'm not even sure
assume
how it works. How does one become Doctor Who? Does like the other Doctor Who still exist, or they just pretend like the previous ones never even existed?
from my minimal knowledge, it's like if one dies, he gets reborn as
Oh,
like another one. So but then he's like the same doctor the whole time.
got it. So it's the same person in different bodies.
Yeah.
Got it.
Something like that. I don't know. Don't
That's
quote me
interesting.
though.
I don't know. You could tell me anything. I'd be like, okay. So literally, I remember the OG Doctor Who, and that's it. You know, bad special effects.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. And on the flip side of the break, we got a couple tasty trailers. I got a hot tater. You know, this is a thing we
Ooh.
haven't done in a long time. Hot taters is where we recommend maybe a musical artist or band you've never heard of. And I've got, I think, a grade A hot tater. And then we've got a handful of really good news. We've got some masturbation news. We got some Jack in the Box news and some other things you're going to like. Not together, not masturbating at Jack in the Box. So don't get weird. We'll see you on the flip side. Need affordable graphic design? VisualAntiDesign.com should be your first stop. High quality work at low prices. Perfect for every need from corporate to personal. Visit VisualAntiDesign.com now and request your free quote. And for a limited time, mention Audionots for 10% off your first project. Okay, we're back. So I got a few trailers here. I forgot to send them all to you ahead of time. Normally, here's how the sausage is made: is I'll see movies we should talk about, and I send them to Ren so he could review them. So here's hoping he's seen a few of them. A couple of them I think are popular enough that he has definitely seen them.
Hopefully.
Hopefully,
I just need to watch every trailer there is.
fingers crossed. Have you seen the trailer for Top Gun Maverick?
Yes.
Dude, this looks pretty good. First I just want to say, does Tom Cruise age? This man looks exactly the same as he did in the original movie.
No, he does not age.
It must be that Scientology stuff.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. So it looks as if they're pulling him out of some sort of retirement. He's got to teach all the new Top Gunners how to fly planes. But what makes me extra excited about this movie is they've been apparently the studio thought this movie was so good because it's been done for a hot minute.
Yeah.
They said, I'm not going to put this out when this can't just be a real theater movie. We're going to hang on to it because we were really pumped about it. Well, they finally let the first round of critics watch it. And they're saying it's one of the best. One guy literally, and this is a real critic, not some weird like internet dweeb, like Variety magazine or like a real critic, said it was the best movie he's seen in the last 20 years. And I'm like, whoa, it's quite the
20,
praise.
20 years? The best movie.
Yeah, quite the praise. So I don't know. I mean, at this point, everybody knows what Top Gun is, I would think, unless you've been living under a rock. So they're bringing back all the hot action. I heard that there's even some Iceman. I don't know if it's going to be a voiceover or what, because that guy's got all sorts of medical problems. I don't think you could do too much with Val Kilmer on screen anymore. But I'm kind of excited now for Top Gun.
Yeah, because wasn't it supposed to be released like 2 years ago?
Yeah, for like at the very beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And they decided they hang on to it, because some of the studios got I don't know, overwhelmed, and they let movies like Dune come out, movies that were supposed to be these huge tentpole movies, but they held on to this one and they didn't release it.
Yeah, I kind of forgot. And then when they showed their preview in before Doctor Strange,
Yeah,
Top Gun's coming out.
comes out this month. So for those who are excited about Top Gun, it comes out May 27th. So that's pretty short here.
Where can you watch the first one? Have you tried it?
That's a great question. I should have looked to see where it's streaming. Maybe I'll look it up. The other movie, I'll look this up while we talk about this trailer. Disney Plus has a new show that I got excited about. Then I actually saw the full trailer and I thought, this looks stupid, called The Quest. Have you seen the trailer for this?
No.
So essentially what The Quest is, it's kind of like Survivor or The Amazing Race, but they're pretending to be as if they were part of like a movie. So it's got like filmed bits where the contestants are in the film. So in the film, they've got a very strict script what's supposed to happen. And then the people that are competing, which are all young adults and teens, they have to do the contest to be part of the show. So they're like, it's like a I don't know, like a mythical thing with like fairies and magic and all this stuff. And so they have to like compete and do all these things, like shoot, like launch like catapults across and blow things up as part of the contest. But it's also like has really cinematic scenes that surround it. It's really kind of interesting. I'm not sure if it'll be good or terrible.
It's kind of like those reality shows, but a show within a show.
Top Gun is on Netflix,
Wow.
by the way. So yeah, I think I might rewatch Top Gun. It's
Yeah, I think I would rewatch it because it's been so long since I've seen it.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. My only other trailer is another good one, I think. Well, actually, I got two more trailers. Thor: Love and Thunder finally released a full trailer, and god damn it, Taika Waititi can't miss. It looks awesome. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm so excited for it. Just like his humor is like my type of humor. Just like when just gotta look at the ones you love, and Thor's like,
the guy's got the bluest eyes ever too. He's like and Star Lord's like, not me.
yeah, dude. You're just like, dude, that's so Taika, man.
Did you get that trailer? That was the first time I saw it on the big screen. Was in front of Multiverse.
Yeah, I got that too.
So you got Maverick Multiverse?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get that one.
Dude, I remember we live in a bigger city and our trailers are like 30 minutes, dude.
I'm trying to remember what we had. We had just a couple trailers. We had Thor for sure. And I've already forgotten what the other ones were. Things I didn't want to see, I'm sure.
Did you get the one that you're going to talk about next? That I'm assuming that you are?
What do you think I'm going to talk about next?
The one that it's based off of Pocahontas and Ferngully.
Oh, yes, that's right. You threw me off with Pocahontas. Yes, Ferngully. Yeah, we got Avatar 2. And I looked over my son. I go, have you ever seen Avatar? And he's like, yeah. I go, are you excited for this? And he goes, no. It looks amazing. If you have to give James Cameron anything, and you have to give him credit, the guy makes only the most Like the movies make the more money than any other movie ever. Like so, whatever an Avatar or whatever movie Titanic he puts out becomes the number one highest grossing movie ever. So I'm not sure why, but people love them some Avatar. Do you love Avatar?
Yeah, I thought for me, it was very mid.
The trailer.
Yeah.
I
Even the
feel
first movie was really mid for me.
Well, I was just bored with the first movie, and I agree though the special effects were amazing, but it almost feels like the special effects with other movies have kind of caught up. So it didn't stand out quite as much as maybe the first one. It almost looks kind of like okay, I've seen some pretty amazing things in movies now.
Yeah, because when the first one came out, it's kind of like, oh man, it's before its time, sort of thing. So that was the hype train,
Yeah.
and everybody saw it. And then you have to like kind of like look past the movie and see the movie for what it is. I'm like, bro, this is Pocahontas, man.
Well, I mean, you're absolutely right too with Fern Gully. It's
Yeah.
literally the first one at least is like a word for word steal of Fern Gully.
Yeah, dude.
Like watch both of those movies back to back and tell me they're not the same plot.
And then after watching this trailer, I'm like, is Avatar going towards the actual Avatar animated series? Like
Oh
the
yeah.
way of the water? Are they going to the water tribe? So is the next one going to be like the Earth tribe?
This whole time it's been related and we just thought it was different.
The way of fire?
So yeah, Avatar is coming out. We'll see if people are excited about that or not. I don't know. That's all the trailers I had. Did you see any other good trailers during your half hour of Multiverse?
No, it was just the same ones. Jurassic Park, et cetera,
Yeah,
et cetera.
freaking Jurassic Park. Probably my family loves those movies. I like me some Chris Pratt, but I'm kind of ashamed to say I don't really like the new Jurassic Park movies.
Um, this trailer was actually a new trailer that I haven't seen. My
Yeah.
wife is like a huge, huge fan. So I'm
Yeah,
going
my
to
wife really likes it too.
Yeah.
Must be a lady thing.
Did you see the scene where he's like, you're going back for the baby? You made a promise to the dinosaur?
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I made a promise to the dinosaur.
Yeah.
I like anything with Jeff Goldblum too, because he's totally like honed in on his weirdness and like it just he doesn't play any characters anymore. He just plays Jeff Goldblum.
That's
And it's
him.
like, yeah, he's weird like that. And so like if he's in anything, I kind of like it because he's a weird guy. All right, I'm excited. So this is a category we haven't done in quite a while, mostly because the music I like is more popular. But I came across this by sheer happenstance, accident, whatever you want to call it, fate, if you will. And I've looked to make sure that this guy isn't as popular as I think he should be. But I've discovered a new artist named Tommy Newport. Tommy Newport. So Tommy Newport sounds kind of like early Killers. Remember when the Killers were doing like the 80s type sound with a lot of synthesizer, and then they kind of moved to like Bruce Springsteen sounding music?
Yeah.
Well, I really liked early Killers. And I feel like Tommy Newport has that kind of vibe. And he's like out of Ohio, I want to say. And we've got more Twitter followers than he does. We have more Instagram followers than he does. We may even have more YouTube followers than he does.
What? Our IG sucks.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So he's I wouldn't call him completely unknown or undiscovered because he does have a lot of music out. I say he's put out about 3 albums worth of music. But I am here to tell you, everybody jump on your favorite music player, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever it might be, and look up Tommy Newport because this guy has no bad songs. They're all bangers.
All
so if
3
you like
albums?
all 3 albums,
Wow.
like even the earliest stuff, like I'm like, I might go on here because I have Spotify and I'll go add to playlist and I add the songs I like to a playlist I listen to. And I'm adding one. I'm adding 2. Next thing I know, I'm just going through the albums, pushing it all over. I'm like, damn, I just grabbed all this guy's music. So I am super excited about Tommy Newport. If you like that style of kind of synthesizer, lo-fi, 80s sounding, kind of like real chill alternative music, this is the guy. He is so good.
What a plug. Oh my
What a
gosh.
plug.
What a
In
plug.
fact, I'm hoping that he's small enough that maybe I can convince him to come on the show, because
Ooh.
I would kiss his butt up and down on the show. So I'm gonna reach out to him and see if he's even interested. Because the first thing I did is, hey, I listened to it. And I thought this is amazing. Then I went online and he's got videos and everything. So he's putting out videos on YouTube and doing all sorts of stuff. But he's got a little bit of a following, but not a huge following. And so I thought, okay, I want to see this guy in concert before he blows up. And he's not even touring. I don't know if that's COVID related, but man, as soon as he rolls into Portland, I'm gonna go see him for sure.
All he needs to do is, be on our show, then bam, blow, explosion.
Oh
Or
yeah,
like,
he'll become the biggest artist known to man. So
yeah.
it's literally like Tommy Newport. One last bit of plug for this guy is when you listen to the music, it's like every song I thought, how come this isn't on the radio? How come this isn't on the radio? They're all radio songs. They are movies. You know how like a lot of music I pick up these days is soundtracks to TV shows and movies.
Yeah.
This could be in every show out there. It's so good. So I
Wow.
recommend it. Once again, Tommy Newport, look him up. I think it's time to dip our toes in the news jacuzzi. Once again, I had some stories on here that are just old at this point. I'm like, I'm not gonna talk about that. I was gonna talk about Elon Musk becoming the majority stakeholder at Twitter, but
Yeah.
everybody's talked about that ad nauseum. But I am curious, what do you think? Good, bad, or otherwise?
I don't know. I'm not smart enough to understand anything. But I think there's a bigger picture in play.
Okay,
And so
what's that?
something we talked about off air
Yeah.
about the reason why he's doing what he's doing. And if you like kind of like you grab all the stuff that he's been acquiring and what's his master plan? And he has a master plan.
Oh, for sure. Someone like this is so much smarter than the rest of us. He definitely has a master plan. And because there's no reason for Elon Musk to own Twitter, right? He's not
Yeah.
going to make any more money from it. In fact, it hurt his stock across the board, Tesla, all those things.
Yeah. Cause like what you told me why he did it made so much sense to me. I'm like, God damn, this guy, dude.
He's a genius. He's a genius. Let's move on. I don't want to spend too much on Elon Musk. Okay, so this is my favorite news story. So I'm gonna get to this one. I don't want to waste too much time. This is good. I actually have it over here. There's a new company. Well, I don't know if it's a new company, but a company, the thing today, I don't know if you saw this come from the unemployment agency announced just this week that there's 2 jobs for every human being right now in the United States.
Wow.
So yeah, even though our unemployment rate, I think is at 3% right now, and I don't know where everybody else lives in Oregon, we still have a overwhelming homeless issue. There's lots of work. And so what's happening is these companies are adding different things to attract people, because not everybody just comes for money. A lot of people choose jobs based on money, but a lot of the millennials, especially the zennials, they're like, well, I want vacation, I want to work from home, I want all these different things. And so they try to make the job even more attractive.
Here are my demands.
Here are my demands. And a lot of times, you've probably all heard of this, a lot of companies have added sleep pods, where if you need to come to work, I think Google is famous for having a lot of sleep pods. You can go to work, you can take naps and sleep during the day and be refreshed and ready to work again. Well, this company is now offering pods to masturbate in, complete with VR headsets. It says here, I'm thinking, this place sounds awesome.
I know. Where can I apply?
I don't need to be a millennial for this. A company has taken the unusual step of offering their employees pods to masturbate in while at work as an employee benefit, which is usually like how they had to explain what employee benefits are, which is usually things like dental plans or free coffee. Let me ask you, would you rather have free coffee or a masturbation pod? How does it work? Do they keep it clean? That's a little concerning to me.
You gotta go ask those like porn stores that has our arcades. Are those clean?
I would not go in there, by the way. Do those places still exist? I don't even know. That was
I
really
don't know.
popular in like the 90s, maybe the early 2000s.
Can you imagine the custodians has to clean those pods?
So here's a little background on me. Before I decided to devote all my once a month a year making a podcast, I really wanted to be a screenwriter. And one of my early scripts that I wrote back in the early 2000s had a character that was the mop boy at an adult store. I just thought that was so funny.
Get back into it. It's
back
happening.
into it. It's happening again. Maybe I could rewrite it with this. So, the Cyprus-based adult website Strip Chat has installed 4 pods for its 200 employees that
Four
will
pods? What?
4 pods that will allow them 30-minute paid breaks during work hours to use for use of the pods. Is in parentheses it says AKA to jack it. So that's pretty neat. I mean, how often do you get paid to jerk it? So the decision to install the pods was made to help employees cope with the stress of COVID-19 during the pandemic. With 200 employees sharing the 4 pods, they may not have assessed the stress and awkwardness involved in queuing at work for a oneism. I wonder what that means. The pods, which look like futuristic large balls, are equipped with 4K screens, Oculus Quest VR headsets, tissues. Well, it seems like a necessity, and and the comfortable chair to masturbate in. It will also be BYOL, as in bring your own lube.
Damn.
So, surprisingly, this is quite surprising. The company is not the first company to offer masturbation breaks. Last year, Erica Lust Films, I'm seeing a theme here with the companies that offer this, who employs 36 members of staff, begin letting employees have 30-minute masturbation breaks, again, due to the agitation people were feeling during the pandemic. Well, I mean, I think we've learned something here if we didn't already know. Apparently, masturbation is the key to stress relief from the pandemic specifically. This company went with more low-tech offering of a masturbation station rather than the high-tech balls that you can crank one out in. With the pandemic and the huge shift in how we live our lives, I began to notice that employees had become somewhat agitated and were performing with less energy than before, said Erica Lust. You think that's her real name?
Yes.
So knowing that there's only one thing to make everybody feel good, I set up a private masturbation station for them to enjoy. The head of communications at the firm suggested that the break could actually benefit the employer too. Picture this: a team of happy employees with their creative juices flowing, not the only juices flowing, and being productive because they have spent some time scheduled to make themselves feel good. She said a masturbation break at work can result in the focus of your employees, less aggression, more productivity, and better teamwork.
Did
Well,
you
there you
jerk
go.
it? Did you jerk it? Yeah, I jerked it. Teamwork,
Yeah.
baby.
It's all about teamwork. Well, I mean, teamwork, you really should be jerking each other, I think. I mean, if you're really going to be a team player.
I feel like what you described to me, the pods, it
Yeah.
was like for dudes only. What about the gals?
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Women do not masturbate with tissues. So maybe only guys work at these, at Strip Chat. Moving moving on to our next story, staying though with the high tech, Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box is experimenting with burger flipping robots. I think this also probably falls into the 2 jobs for every 1 employee type situation. Can't get people to work. Nobody wants to work these low end jobs because they could just drive Uber Eats instead. Jack in the Box you can add Jack in the Box to the list of fast food chains that is experimenting with robots. The company is launching a pilot program that will test the Miso Robotics Flippy 2 and Sippy, which is apparently a drink prepping robot, in its San Diego restaurants. Flippy and Sippy. Jack in the Box wants to see how much of the automation they can offer to busy staff who may spend more time with customers and less time in the kitchen. The company says it didn't know how long the pilot might last, but Jack in the Box said it was open to future integration in the coming months. So it says that they've joined the likes of Chipotle, Panera, and White Castle in using Miso's technology. So we've all seen this. I don't know. Have you ever seen any robotics in your fast food?
I don't think so.
The only time I can think is I went to a McDonald's once. Well, there's actually several McDonald's that they didn't have anybody at the front to take your order, and it was all kiosks. You had to do it on like a screen.
Yeah, we have those.
So I've seen that, and then You and I think it was you and I, we were in Vegas and they had the machine that would make drinks. It was like robot arms that looked like they make like car parts and it was
Oh yeah,
making
yeah,
cocktails.
yeah.
So that's about all I've seen, but it is kind of interesting to think that they're going to start swapping out these kind of lower paying fast food jobs for robots. And I'm curious if that means the food will get better or worse.
I mean, like, are they just flipping patties? What else are they doing? You know?
But there's a picture of it, and it literally looks like a robot arm, and it's hanging over the burger station. And I think it just like rotates the hamburgers and then maybe slides them onto buns, and
Oh,
somebody else has to come condiment them and wrap them.
right. Well,
So it's
I've seen on TikTok where they have this little like pot, but it's at an angle,
yeah,
and then the pot has like two prongs in it, and it rotates, and so
yeah.
like it's like constantly stirring, and they make like pad thai out of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's super interesting. My last story, this is a little bit older one too because it's been so long, but I think we can finish with it. Is Cracker Jack has invented something called Cracker Jill because everybody was
Whoa.
saying
Freaking
you gotta make them
woke.
more woke.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know what the beeping was. My headphones died.
You didn't charge it.
I can't hear anything. I don't know how to make it work anymore.
Plug
I
it
wonder
in.
if I turn them off, if I hear you through the speakers. Okay, so yeah, uh, Cracker Jack has added Cracker Jill to their lineup, um, which is really kind of interesting. After 125 years, sports' most iconic snacks, Cracker Jack is adding a new face to his roster, the introduction of Cracker Jill to celebrate the women who break down barriers in sports. I think the idea is good, but I'm not so sure about this. What do you think?
How many more years until other pronouns? You
How
know,
many more years until
they, them. If you're gonna like do a she, you have to do ever. You have to be inclusive, right? Everybody else.
that's fair? That's fair. And what's interesting is they didn't even bother making a new snack. It's literally the same snack, but they just stuck ladies on it, all giving the like, the I'm powerful flex, which is cool. I have no problem with it. And I don't know. It seems like they're just trying to. It's a PR thing more than anything.
Yeah.
They're trying to appeal to a certain part of the public, and that's it.
I think no matter what they do, it's gonna like people are gonna complain. You know, like you give them a different flavor. Oh, you think females like this flavor more? You know, like it's not a win.
I was trying to see if there was any real benefit to it. So the only difference is if you buy Cracker Jill versus Cracker Jack, they donate part of the money. Oh
Oh
no,
no,
where'd you go?
I think my camera died. Damn it.
I think it's telling us we're done.
Yeah, you can end it.
Okay. All right, Audionots. I think we're gonna wrap this up. Um, we had a really fun episode. We gave you an hour and 20 minutes worth of fantastic content. And
Wow.
amongst the way, my headphones died, Rin's camera died. And so
Yeah.
we've talked way too long. So we're wish you guys all adieu. We thank you for listening, and we will see you all on the flip side. Catch you next time. Bye.